Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hogwarts Legacy here on the Game Professor channel. I'm your host, the Game Professor, and we are gonna start off today. Actually, I think what we're gonna do is do another one of these puzzles, just because it's right here, and I like them a lot. So, 3 plus 0 plus 2 is 5. Oh, I just went right past it. That was smooth. There we are. And 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 7.
Stop it, Peeves, you'll get us in trouble.
In trouble you will be, but you can't get Peeves a smack. She says it's a boot, and he says
7.
it's a flat.
Peeves,
There we go.
Enough. You'll get us all detention.
Wonderful. I'm basically hoping to both get some equipment and possibly some money. I like to have lots of money before we get to Hogsmeade, if possible. But let's go right into charms now. And I really like Professor Ronan. I don't dislike any of the professors, to be honest.
Here.
Other than Black,
Behind you.
which is a given.
There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new
Sorry,
student.
I have a cat on a
Have you
keyboard.
met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone?
I feel like that's a reference
Anyone?
to Order of the Phoenix, I think.
I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
I love that he just takes this into stride. So many instructors would be discouraged by nobody responding to their questions. And he just like, okay, we're going to use this to do something fun. Even at this point, it's clearly about doing something fun. And this is our other kind of
Accio.
main in combat sort of utility spell.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me.
Trying to handle wrangling the cat still. And he went back to my keyboard. Such is the nature of cats.
I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right?
All right. And yeah, this just reinforces the focus on fun in
So why don't we have
how
our newest
Professor
student
Ronan
start us off?
approaches things. And friendly chirping, playful chirping. He just has so much joy in what he does.
On one of the spheres, Accio, relinquish your charm. Excellent control there. Now, think of the...
Not too far. All right. This is part of the difficulty of it. You kind of have to release it while it's still in the 20.
That's it!
That pretty much gets you perfectly in the 50 every time.
Very good. Points to Slytherin. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up.
Of course she wants to give us a
You'll
challenge.
be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see what you got, Natty.
Watch this.
All right.
That is how
Let's see if
it's
I can
done.
knock her off. Not quite. I needed to give it a little bit more oomph.
Let us see this.
You're gonna try to knock me off now? Well, dang. We are quite evenly matched. Or so it would seem. There we are, just in the 50.
Quite impressive. Bishop.
If both of us get perfect scores, both of us are going to get perfect scores.
Yes!
Well, well, well. There we are.
A perfect score. Remarkable.
And there are future Summoner's Court competitions that increase in difficulty. We're going to see
a bit more interesting, shall we?
the most basic of added difficulty with this one.
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
All right.
Here we go.
And you do get to learn a bit more about each of your professors later on in the game if you choose to do the exploration that's required for it. Oof, you are blue. Oh no! Oh, Natty! I was not expecting that. Dang.
You
She's
are
back
not
to
making
0.
this easy for me, are you?
No, I'm not.
Let us see
I'm
this.
determined. I don't think I've ever seen that specifically. Like, she just was perfectly positioned to
Very good.
not make it at all. Alright, we'll let this...
Not exactly
Fuzzy just
a-
turned on my keyboard, apparently.
Not that I mind.
Aye.
Excellent.
Bishop.
Fuzzy's trying to be musical, apparently. Just need to turn off the keyboard. Well, now I know of a new proximity hazard for when I'm recording. If the cats come in, they may turn on my keyboard. Excellent. There we go. Another perfect score.
Perfect rounds. You're a natural.
What can I say? I know my Summoner's Court.
Very good, both of you. Well done.
That is how we do. My goodness. Man.
Class is
Another
dismissed.
bad allergy
Gather your
day for
things
me.
on the way out.
I apologize for
Good
all the
game back
nose
there.
scratching.
I must admit, I think I underestimated you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
I like Natty a lot.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
That really can't have been easy. And the fact of that being possible at this time in history is very telling of the difference in how the country relations are and the regional relations are within the wizarding world. Obviously, this is still at the height of the British Empire. Historically, this is taking place in the late 1800s, I believe 1890 or 1892, something like that. It's roughly 100 years before the Harry Potter books are set. And to have a character like Natty, who is a foreign student, especially one from Africa, is so cool. There's so much to learn from her. She is a fascinating character. I really love the depth that she adds to your story as this hero character. She's a nice, not sidekick. She's definitely not a sidekick. There are no real sidekicks in this game, which I appreciate. It's a nice contrast to that, to the golden trio that you have within the Harry Potter series. But let's quickly learn a little bit more about her story. How big is Wagadu?
Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts?
Wagadu School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
I believe Wagadu is supposed to probably cover the entire continent of Africa, so yeah, it should absolutely be much bigger than Hogwarts.
Is Wagadu a castle, like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
Wow. That alone brings to mind the idea of the magic being different there. And it's only natural that the magic across the world within different cultures is going to be different. So I appreciate this very direct asking about it and being able to learn about it.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Wagadu uses one.
That is incredible.
You can cast spells without a wand.
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
All right. Definitely a lot of cool information about her and her story that we have so far.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Of course, you can use Accio. Revelios, if you're so inclined.
Well, you'd be using
Must
it on
do my little
clothing
Revelios.
besides Sebastian. You know
Nothing
it
in the
won't-
classroom.
If you
Okay.
would.
Yes, Professor.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm
Not
is there in
remotely.
the expected? You did well, managing to best as gifted a student as Miss Onai.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
All right. Sounds like a plan there. Oh, and I do... oh, so close. I do remember that I have some challenges unlocked. So, we can get the legendary gloves and working toward the legendary cape. And we have the Hogwarts Regalia spectacles and working towards the Hogwarts Regalia gloves. See if we have anything else to possibly add here. Ooh, that can improve our offense. I would say I'd like that. A little weird looking. We can change our appearance already. So, basically, you can select the gear that you want to wear based on the attributes that it has, and then you can make it look like whatever you like it to look like. So we have the Dark Arts scarf, the Carmine Lightning Bolt scarf, and the Charms Professor scarf. The Charms Professor scarf, that's one that I unlocked through my previous playthroughs. I actually do really like that scarf, but I'm not much of a scarf person in general, so we'll just keep it invisible. So we still have our improved offense, but we don't have the visible scarf. We don't really have anything else here in terms of anything. Black leather gloves. Don't need gloves. We don't need a hat. Whoops. Can look at the robes that we have as possibilities. So, this is the House Fanatic robe that you get from connecting your the Wizarding World account, I guess, is what it's called now. It's what used to be Pottermore. Could also make ourselves look like Professor Ronan if we wanted to. Merlin's Cloak. That's another one I unlocked. I believe. This is the Dark Arts robe. Because I do have the Dark Arts pack. Or we could go back to our rugged overcoat. I do like the rugged overcoat. Or we can stick with our traditional school robe. I think I'm gonna just reset it. Or we could even just go invisible there. Just really show off the prefect vest uniform. But we'll keep it with what we're looking at so far. Don't need to get too complicated yet. I will get a little excited once we start to unlock a few more things in terms of appearance.
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Samantha Dale. Professor Ronan kind of ridiculed you a bit there.
Hello. You wanted to speak to me?
Samantha Dale. I've been eager to meet you. You're the student everyone's been whispering about. Hope your first day's going well. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
That is kind of you to say.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, He tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan.
It's very rare that you can rely on beginner's luck. I see a chest.
Revelio.
Oh, looks like maybe that was on a lower level. Well. I am going to do just a little bit of exploring before we head off to Professor Weasley. That's where we're going next, per her request to check in with her at the end of the day. This originally took me forever to figure it out. Obviously, now that I know how to do it, I see the little feather icon there, so I need to hit that with Levioso. And we get a field guide page. So we're just gonna do a little bit more poking around, see what we can find. Oh. Ooh.
Revelio.
What do we have here? Tapestry of Barnabas the Barmy. This tapestry depicts the wizard Barnabas the Barmy's foolish attempt to train trolls for the ballet. One can only imagine the impact of the arts if he had succeeded. That would be something. And we will be spending some more time in that area eventually. Not yet, though. Getting into astronomy areas, it seems. Ah, yes, the astronomy tower, indeed.
Revelio.
We won't do too much exploring around here. I don't want to do too much, but have something here. My dear Satyavati? Satyavati. Hope I say that correct. You'll be pleased to hear that I received word from my contacts in Cambridge who conceded that they had in fact been incorrect in their understanding of meteor showers. It seems that an Irish astronomer and a British astronomer both built upon the work done by an Italian astronomer, all muggles mind you, as far as I know, to propose calculating the position of the dust at Earth's orbit as means of connecting meteors to comets. Brilliant, really. I can only imagine what they might do with an enchanted telescope. Frustratingly, in my correspondence, I did feel that I had to continue using the pseudonym from my days as a gentleman's scholar. Whilst I still find it rather exciting to have a secret identity, the reason irks me. I am so looking forward to our trip later this year to Jantar Mantar. What an adventure we shall have. I miss you, dear sister, and do hope you are well. With love, Sukrita. So, that is I believe, a letter between the astronomy professor and her sister. And I think I mentioned this last time, but you can learn a bit more about the backstories of your professors as the game goes on. And, it just requires you going back to them and actually having some conversations, but you can also just find little notes and letters like that as well. And it just fleshes everybody out so beautifully. It makes the world feel very real. It makes everything that you're doing feel that much more involved. Decorous classic school uniform with some improvements. Let's actually take a look at that, because I do like the blazers. I really like blazers. If I'm wearing something Hogwartsy, I like having the blazer. That improved our defense to 4. Or by 4, rather. So, yeah, I'll take that. Nice plaid for the blazer. I will definitely take that. That suits me just fine. So now off to Professor Weasley. After we very quickly check the bathrooms here, I think, actually.
Revelio.
I won't be able to get that chest yet. These are fun chests. They see you, so they won't let you in. But they are a great source for money. You get 500 galleons for each of them. Another prefect vest uniform. Alright. So that one's not that interesting. I suppose no harm, no foul. And amazingly, much like an actual school, it becomes very easy to navigate Hogwarts as you start to get used to it and get an idea of some of the pathways. Oh, I just heard something.
Revelio.
Hogwarts survives the reign of this headmaster. I think we should have a lone calf in charge.
Oh, there we are. Got another guide page there, and lots of chests behind a locked door. Painting of Ilias. This painting depicts the young orphan wizard Ilias, who famously saved his entire village from an army of Dementors and the dark wizard Rexidian by conjuring a mouse Patronus. That is actually a really gorgeous painting. I would love to just have that painting. That's seriously gorgeous. Peeves, how you doing, Peeves?
Nothing's as clever as playing with fire.
Oh boy. I don't like that. I'll leave you to your fire, Peeves. Alright. This is the Transfiguration Courtyard. Got another field guide page. A wyvern fountain. This fountain in the Transfiguration Courtyard has a likeness of a wyvern on top and serves as a relaxing place for students to gather. Despite rumors to the contrary, possibly started by Sir Cadogan, this is most assuredly not meant to be the Wyvern of Wye, slain by the lively knight in spite of himself. I feel like there's a field guide page for Sir Cadogan's portrait. I believe there is. If you know the books, you know Sir Cadogan. He is good fun in the ridiculous category. So let's check in with Professor Weasley.
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
I am intrigued by the inclusion of a house elf.
Deke.
Ah, there you are.
Yes, Professor.
I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit during your brief detour near... what was it you said? Some ruins? I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Has Professor Fig said anything?
Have you and Professor Fig not discussed my training?
He continues to be reticent about the details, mentioning only a few spells. Revelio, was it? And Lumos?
That's correct, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Yeah, Professor Ronan did mention that.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
All right. Yeah, before we take care of all this, what can you tell me about the potions shop?
Can you tell me more about the potions shop, Professor?
J. Pippin's Potions stocks a wide array of potions ingredients, although they rarely sell recipes. Professor Sharp asks that they have a couple of particular recipes on hand for you.
Excellent. And spellcrafts. That is a concept new to me.
I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor. What is it?
A spellcraft is a recipe of sorts used when conjuring objects. I shall explain more about them when you begin working with transfiguration magic.
All right. And the Ollivanders.
I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor.
Oh,
what is
shoot.
it?
A spellcraft is a recipe of sorts used
Oh,
when
I can't.
conjuring...
I can't.
I shall explain more about
Oh,
them
maybe
when
I
you
can.
begin working with...
There we go. All right. If I hit triangle, I can go through that. Meant to select Ollivanders.
There's an Ollivanders in Hogsmeade.
There is. Most people are familiar with the shop in Diagon Alley. We're fortunate to have someone like him nearby. Mr. Ollivander is a genuine craftsman and highly skilled wand maker. I would trust no one else to pair me with a wand.
All right. Sounds like we have a good deal waiting for us then.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or Natsai Onai. I've noticed you spending time with them.
I'm gonna go with Sebastian, because I still can't quite put my finger on him just yet.
I'd like to go with Sebastian.
Glad to hear it. Mr. Sallow is a capable young wizard, and he knows the area. He'll keep you well clear of any of Victor Rookwood's undesirables en route.
Rookwood?
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of sorts, Theophilus Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
Well then, in that case, what we'll do is we'll take care of Professor Ronan's assignment, and that'll finish off the episode for us. So speak to Professor Ronan to receive your first assignment. Assignments are types of quests given to you by Hogwarts professors that, when completed, reward you with new spells. The reward for completing your first assignment will be the Mending Charm Reparo, which is required to complete other quests. You can track assignments and their progress in the quests menu of your field guide. So if we look at the quests, we will see that Welcome to Hogsmeade is behind a locked icon. Required level is 2. We're well above level 2, and Reparo. And we will get Ancient Magic Throw and Ancient Magic from that. So that's a pretty exciting one. Our assignment there, and then Crossed Wands, that's what Sebastian was telling us about earlier. So, or in the last episode,
Rebellion.
rather, better description. Let's take care of this, though. That looks like a partially transfigured something. Partial transfiguration, okay. This partially transfigured teacup, likely assumed to be reversed error of a second-year student, serves as a cautionary tale for those students who do not take seriously the complexities and dangers of transfiguration. Yes, indeed. Transfiguration, when you think about it, should be viewed as one of the more dangerous types of magic. Changing something in any form is not something to be taken lightly. Kitty. I will pet the kitties. That cat is actually very similar to Chester. Chester is more tuxedo-y. Actually, technically, by definition of tuxedo cats, I think Chester does qualify as a tuxedo cat, even though he is tabby colored in his non-white areas. All right, Professor Ronan.
You have a new spell to teach me, Professor.
Indeed I do, and an exceedingly useful one at that. The mending charm, Reparo. Fixes things right up, makes a broken object good as new in the blink of an eye.
All right.
It seems as if that might come in handy.
More frequently than one would imagine. As Professor Weasley mentioned, I am not the only one who will be teaching you spells outside of class in an effort to catch you up with your peers. A number of your professors have agreed to do so as well, but first, each shall ask that you complete a few preliminary tasks to hone your magic. I have arranged some for today. See them through and then report back to me. We will have you casting Reparo in no time.
What is the purpose of the tasks?
Why must I first complete tasks to learn Reparo?
No lesson or lecture can compare to first-hand experience, and these tasks should provide you with just that. Such experience is invaluable when mastering any new bit of magic.
Essentially, practicality when learning something that would be applied practically is the best approach.
I'll start on the task right away, Professor.
There are really a lot of ways that this game ties in pretty effectively with the Victorian model of a school story.
This is the right one. Got it.
Man, if I had been able, if this game had existed, oh goodness, that'd be 8 years ago now. If it had existed 8 years ago, I could have used this as my paper focus for my Victorian children's lit class in grad school. That would have been great. We do have a new collection completed, though. Let's take a look at that. So now we have the Hogwarts Regalia gloves. Excellent. And next will be the Hogwarts Regalia hat. Basically kind of looks like we're getting doctoral robes. Based on that hat.
I trust the preliminary tasks weren't too much trouble.
They were not.
I completed the assignments, Professor.
Marvelous. You clearly know your way around basic charms. Let us give the old mending charm a try then, shall we? Remember to be deliberate in your enunciation and movements. I want to see some vigor. Now, wand at the ready.
Yes, sir.
Let's do this.
Remember, your wand is a conduit of your magic.
All right. Now we start to see some of the complexities in learning spells with a new button to press thrown into the mix. There we are. Excellent. The mending charm Reparo can be used to mend broken objects in pieces of the environment.
That's it. Very good. If you would like to practice mending something, have a go with that broken statue in the alcove by the water. It allegedly symbolized heartbreak. Perhaps a jilted lover thought it too accurate and lashed out.
All right. Let's give that a shot then.
Reparo.
Nicely done. Works like a charm, doesn't it?
And a very pretty statue, actually. Doesn't feel super jilted, like heartbreak. More horrific experience. That's more what I'm getting from it. I believe, yes, there is one here.
Levioso.
So we'll get that field guide page. And then that is where we will end this episode, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you know when new videos are coming out, and follow the links in the description to the Facebook page and Discord server to join the conversation. But until next time, everybody, this is your Game Professor signing off. I'll see you then, and we'll be going to Hogsmeade. See ya.